Hello everyone. I hope you're all okay. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've watched before. Um, I am learning to live life on a budget. I am Millie, and this video is my debt confession. So I did film my debt confession the other day. I did a 3 video run, but anxiety got the better of me. I was really worried that I might offend people when talking about my debts and my situation. And that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to just put this out there. If you've watched my other videos, I may have mentioned that I got paid. I started receiving disability benefit in the UK, and because the claim took so long to go through, they gave me what I was entitled to from when the claim started. So I received a lump sum, which is why I'm going to do this video, because currently I pay for my debts out of my monthly bill budget, and so things are going to change. So yeah, I previously filmed this. I got really anxious when I was going to upload it, and I just thought, you know what, it's not worth the anxiety or the worry, so I'm just going to give it a refilm. I originally, when I started this channel, wasn't going to do a debt confession because my debts aren't massive. I've watched some debt confessions and people owe like tens or 20,000. And I kind of thought, oh, it feels a little bit on the small side. But because of how things are going in my personal situation, I just thought, it would be, what's the word? Oh, sorry, mind blank. It's been a bit of a day. I would share this debt confession just kind of because of the monthly payments that changed. I think I'm repeating myself now. So let's move on. So previously my debts a couple of years back were over £20,000, just over. It was a dire situation. I was on a low income. I don't know why lenders lend that sort of money out when they know you're on a low income. It was really horrible. I couldn't afford any of my repayments. It got to a point where I was offering people £1, while a loan company got really funny about it and was ringing my employer. Yeah, it just was a horrible time. And I ended up, as a result of it all, going bankrupt in 2019, and it wiped all my debts. If you would like to know more about bankruptcy and other debt options, then you can message me. I can do a video about it. I have all the paperwork still, so I have the numbers and everything, and stages of the process. I would be happy to do that because when I went bankrupt, I looked online for information about how it affects your daily life. Like, does it affect your rent tenancy? Can it affect, because it affects your tax code, can it affect your employment? All of these things, like, was my home insurance going to be carried through? Would it get cancelled? What about car insurance? All of these things. And there wasn't a great deal out there for in the UK, and I think in England it might be slightly different to Scotland and Wales and Ireland, because I know that they have slightly different options. But if you're interested in going through that, then I'll be happy to share it, because although everyone's experience with debt is personal and different, just to give some sort of advice, or share my journey, basically, not advice, but share my journey, so that these things, some awareness, really. If you are struggling with debt and it's too much, please don't hide from it. You're telling me I hid and tried to avoid it and was getting letters and all sorts, harassing phone calls. Please don't hide. Talk to family, friends, someone you trust. If you need to go into some sort of repayment plan, either a debt management plan, IVA, they're available in England. There are some other options depending on how much debt you have. It's just, yeah, look into them. There are ways and means to help people struggling with debt. Even things like if you're struggling with rent and you've got rent arrears, some local councils will do grants to help clear that when you show them that you don't have the income to keep up and you could be at risk of losing your home. But two charities I'm going to give shout outs to are Step Change and Citizens Advice. If you're in the UK, I believe they serve both. They might have a different variation, but they're the same thing. Citizens Advice has a great website. Step Change, I think I filled out an online form and then someone spoke to me. They were amazing, both of them, throughout my journey and trying to find different affordable options, because debt is horrible. No matter what your debt total is, or your income, it is not a nice experience. It is horrible. It will keep you awake at night. It can drain the life out of you. So please, please, please reach out. Find support or speak to someone, because it's such a burden to carry on your own. So, with that said, as I just said, I went bankrupt in 2019. My debts were wiped, apart from my student loans, because in the UK, student loans aren't included in debts. So, yes, I have accumulated a debt since my bankruptcy. With my income dropping, it really, really worried me. And although it's not in the tens or 20,000s, it really, really was hard and upsetting. I am very lucky. All of my debts are 0% interest. So at least I knew that my monthly payments were actually clearing the debt, whereas some people, especially on YouTube in debt confessions, I see like sky high interest, and I just really feel for people, because it's wrong. I don't know how they can let lenders do that. Something needs to change. I know lenders need to make some money off lending people money, but it just seems so very wrong when you see sort of like, 25%, 30% interest. It's just, and I don't know if this is accurate, but I feel like there was some sort of, with the PPI, they brought in legislation to deal with that. And like payday loans, I don't know if they still exist, but we used to see them a few years ago in England on the TV all the time, adverts everywhere, payday loan, and you'd have to pay back like 50% interest, or something ridiculously high. And I believe, don't quote me on this, I don't know if it's true, it's just off my memory, that they did actually bring in some sort of legislation to stop it. So like I say, with my income dropping, I was really concerned about how I was going to survive, because my debts are in my monthly bills. And I do pay to them each month. And even though there was 0% interest, I just was worried, like, because I'd pay them and then I think, oh God, what about food and blah, blah. So you'll see in a minute my debts and how much I have in total. And although it's not a really high amount, it is enough for some people to worry. That's not me trying to minimize people with massive debts, and that's not me. I don't want to minimize people with smaller debts, because at the end of the day, debt is debt. And if you're struggling, it's scary and horrible, and that's why I say please speak out. Like I mentioned, the two charities, Step Change and Citizens Advice. Just, yeah, you don't have to do this alone. Sorry, I'm just scanning through my list because, like I said, I refilmed because I was really anxious. So I made sort of like a points list to go through because I was really worried and anxious that I might offend people with my previous video, because I didn't start off saying what I've just said. I said it at the end. So, yes, shall we look at my new debts? So, here's one I made earlier. So, as you can see, I currently owe £2,312.09, or maybe £2,962.09. I will explain this extra number here in a minute. Some of you watching may go 2,300. It's not a great deal. I've got 20k debts. Like I said, I was really worried just because my income was so low. My first budget, the predicted budget, was in a negative. But that's not to say, if you're sitting there thinking that your debts aren't scary, like, I completely sympathise with you. I've been in both ends of the barrel. So that's my disclaimer for my anxiety to keep me calm over. Let's head into my debts. So I've got my first debt. I've done all my debts in, well, most of it kind of in like a sort of order of amounts. My first debt is my daughter's phone. She currently has £116.50 outstanding. She has a monthly repayment of £6 a month. Well, she doesn't, I do. To pay that off, I'd have to pay it in full. Then I have my phone, which has a monthly repayment, a total amount outstanding of £201. I pay £13 a month, and I'd have to pay that in full. I can't just make a token £30 payment or something on one off. Both of the phones have about a year and a half to go. I believe at the end of this year in December, both of these amounts will drop to kind of clear the rest. I think it's how it works. Without looking on my account, I'm filming on my phone, so I can't check. That's what's going to happen. Next debt is for the tablet. The total amount is £438. The monthly repayment is £11, and I'd have to pay that in full as well. It is a newish one, the tablet. I got it maybe about October, November last year. It's just really, I didn't have the money to buy one outright, and I probably should have waited. But it was on a really good deal. And at that time, I didn't realise how much my income would drop. I thought I would be returning to work at some point, not being unemployed and being on benefits. My next debt is my universal credit advance. So before I claimed universal credit last year, I was receiving weekly tax credits, and when I put in a claim for universal credit, it instantly stopped my tax credits, even though I wasn't getting it for, I think, about 5 weeks it took to set up my universal credit claim. So that was like, I was getting like, I think it was about £100 a week from tax credits. So that was £500 I was losing out on. Because they couldn't say how long it would take, they were sort of like, over 4 weeks. We aim to do it in 6 weeks, but if there's backlog, it could take a bit longer. So they offered me an advance like they do everyone. They offered me up to £900. I did not take the full £900. Yay me, because part of me was tempted to, and then I could go and do some spending that wasn't necessary. But I have an outstanding amount of £542, and I have £35 taken off of my universal credit before I get paid it, and that's why that's not included on my monthly budget. These are all included as mobile because they all go out in one payment together, but this is not included in my budget because it's already taken out before I get paid. To clear this advance off, I would have to pay it in full. So yes, again, it's difficult because if I could make token payments, I could probably have lowered these amounts a bit more before my income dropped. But yeah, so rent arrears, I was ahead on my rent. And with my work pay being all over the place, I know my income manager really well, and we had like this really honest conversation. And I just said, I'm scared. I don't know how much I get paid. It keeps changing. My universal credit works 4 weeks behind, so I don't know what I'm going to get, and I'm worried about paying like my bills and my food and paying you. And she said, hold there, you are £300 a month ahead. My rent's £650. She said, take a break for a month. You'll end up in £300 of arrears, but you've been in arrears before with the bankruptcy. We know each other really well outside of her being my income manager, because it is a small world. So we can speak. She knows all my history. She was there for me throughout the bankruptcy, etc., etc. She said, just take a break. And then after that month, I wanted to change my payment date from... I used to pay my rent whenever I got my work wages. So I wanted to change the payment date to universal credit because I knew at that point that I was going to be leaving. And so it meant there was like another sort of like 5-6 weeks so till I paid. So I was like 2 months behind, but I was ahead on my rent. I do not I do live in social housing. With government, if you're not in the UK, it's government government run. I don't know. It's cheaper rent and secure housing, like council housing. I am with a housing association, so it's not quite council, it's more affordable housing with a secure tenancy. So they're not going to turn around and say, we're going to sell up, please leave. I'm really fortunate to get this because in the UK there is long waiting lists everywhere. And so yeah, so I knew I wasn't going to get kicked out. We'd done it by agreement, etc., etc. And I currently pay £30 a month out of my own pocket extra, because Universal Credit pay for my rent. They pay me to pay my rent, but I pay £30 a month to try and clear this £874.59, and I can just pay back whatever I can when I can. I have included a second figure here because when I was working, I had to get 1 month ahead. To my terrible spelling, left out an A, I'm really sorry. You wouldn't think I used to work with children. So I've added the 1 month ahead on. I feel like my sums are wrong because I've gone from 874 to 152. It might be right actually, because my rent is, well, it was 620, but it's going up to 650 in April with the rise in inflation. So when I worked, they liked you to be 1 month ahead. I get charged rent weekly, but I've paid monthly, and yeah, they prefer you to pay monthly. And I don't know how that's going to work now I'm on Universal Credit, because Universal Credit pays 4 weeks in arrears, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure all benefits did, or that I received the payment 4 weeks in arrears. So I don't know if I'm going to be asked to pay this amount to get 1 month ahead or not, but she's not chill. She's understanding and she's kind, and she doesn't expect the world when she knows she can't afford it. So I can just pay whatever I can on top of this when I can. There's no really high expectation. I could just pay the £30 a month until it's cleared. So I want to work off this amount because I know that is what I'm behind on after I've paid rent. And yeah, and then if I need to work towards this, then I will work towards it at a later date, but this is the one I'm aiming for. This here is technically not a debt, but it is what's outstanding on my last gas bill. I gave a meter reading recently because I hadn't done one for over a year, and with the price hikes I thought I'm going to get ahead of myself now. And what I had on my gas in credit for the winter wasn't enough because the meter reading meant that my bill was a lot higher because I hadn't done one so long. So I currently have £140 outstanding on my bill for the winter months. And yeah, I mean, it's getting paid monthly. I pay £40 a month for my gas. So this is clearing, but obviously the next bill, I don't want to be behind, so I've included it in my debts. Currently, I don't need to pay anything towards this extra amount. It just might mean that when the next bill, my price that I pay each month goes up. But that again is I pay what I can. So that's how I've got this figure. And then obviously this higher figure of 2962 is including this 1 month ahead. So yeah, that is my debts as it stands. I get paid at the end of this week, and then over the next 2 weeks all my direct debits go out. So this will all be slightly different. But yes, I am very, very fortunate that I have 0% interest on my debts, and that my monthly repayments are actually affordable to me right now. Like I said, when I was working and thought I had a negative budget, I was really stressing about them. This £35 a month would be really handy. Actually, all of this would be really handy to have back. What do I pay? 30, 65, 76, and then let's make that 20. I know it's not, but 76, 96, take away one, £95 a month. This works out that I pay towards debts. So yeah, the reason for my debt confession is that I received a payout from disability benefit. Let's get back to that in a minute. No, sorry, I'm just checking my list. Normally I do all my videos free flow, unedited. You might get a lot of rambling talking. Like this one's gone on for 22 minutes already. I would love to get quicker. I'm so sorry. I don't go out much and I don't really talk to anyone. I might message a few people, but it's only really my mum and my daughter that I speak to in full. So you guys are like my little sit and have a chat time. Yeah, let's do it now. So I got a PIP payout. That's a disability benefit in the UK. For the amount that they owed me from when my claim started, because it took so long to get it. I received a very high amount. I'm not bragging here, by the way. It's a one-off payment. It's what I should have been getting every week, but I received a one-off payment of just over 3,600. Here is a spending tracker, because when I received this, I wanted to spend it instantly in my bank. And the itch and the spend took over, and my daughter made me transfer it to my mum. My mum's very good with money. She'll hold it for me in her savings account and transfer it to me as and when needed. I've already spent 400 of this. I colour it in when I'm spending it, and then I cross it out when it's spent. And do you know what? This is a game changer. I'm going to introduce this into my monthly cash envelope folder so that I can see what I've got each month left. I don't know, I'm a very visual person and I like colouring, so this for me is massive. But with this money I can clear debts that I have outstanding, and that's why I've done this debt confession video. Now I just want to flip back to January. This figure is wrong. I worked it out wrong. But as you can see, by making my monthly payments, I had cleared quite a bit. Now, when in January, I owed some money to my mum, I owed some money to PayPal, and I owed some money to tax credits. That was paying off monthly from the changeover. They accidentally paid me an extra week when Universal Credit started, and they wanted it back. And I'd cleared three of those three. So it's a nice feeling, isn't it, when you clear debt? If you haven't done it yet, you will get there. Just keep going. So this is where I was at. I paid off a bit already. I've worked out now that I got this number wrong. It was an estimate because of the agreement I come up with the income manager of my landlord, and yeah, now I've got the actual figure. This is an estimate. So I've been doing well, I feel like. By, January is all orange, February is blue. Yeah, I feel like I'd done okay. And yeah, it was just the debts that I've showed you that are left. And well, it is what it is on the tin. This is really nice because it's debt free as well. It's quite a big one, but then maybe lots of little bite-sized chunks. So I had been working and focusing to pay off debt. It wasn't a priority. It still isn't a large priority. You're not going to see me stuffing loads into extra debt, purely because I want to get used to budgeting. I have been doing this, actively tracking and budgeting, since November. I'm finding it really hard to stay in budget, even with the low income. All my income dropping, I'm still finding it hard. So I'm making my monthly payments. Like I said, I'm really lucky there's zero interest. So what I'm paying is actually clearing the debt. And yeah, I want to get established with my budget. That's why I set up this this channel, because I wanted to be accountable. My figures are accurate to what I spend, and I really wanted to build up sinking funds, because I've never ever been able to save unless my mum has the money, and my mum's gonna give it back to me. If I rang up now and said, can I have £2,000 out of my overpayment spend out of this, she would transfer it to me. She might go, oh, what are you doing with it? But she, I could just be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, even if I don't end up doing that. She would give it to me. So yeah, that is my priority this year. Build up sinking funds, just even if I just have half of the money towards Christmas saved up, that would be amazing. To have my daughter's birthday in advance, that would be amazing. Build up sinking funds. If we need new clothes, I've already got it set aside. So yeah, this is not a massive priority, but I was working towards my debts. So moving on. Deep breath. Have a bit of coffee. Oh God, look, I've got coffee all round. I'm a messy drinker. I'm really sorry. Let's do it this way. Have a bit of coffee. Anyone else got a cuppa on the go? You can't beat a good cuppa. Coffee or tea or hot chocolate, whatever your choice is. I've got these really nice coffee sachets that I just love. When I start doing shopping videos, you'll probably see them pop up. They're £1 a box, so they're affordable, and it means that I don't feel the need to go to a coffee shop and get a nice coffee, because I've got it at home. With this money, I feel so blessed and so lucky to have it. I mean, all of you will probably understand that a one-off payment like this, to do what you want with, it's almost life-changing. I know I haven't won the lottery, I'm not a millionaire, but it is, and it means so much. I will clear some of my debts with this money. I don't intend to clear all of them. I know some of you will watch this and go, no, you should clear all of your debts. What are you doing, Millie? But with the breakdown and everything, it's been a really tough couple of years for me and my family. And like I said, I don't really have any sinking funds established. Things have been really tight financially. So I would like some of this money to go into things like sinking funds, treats. I need a new washing machine desperately, because every time I put it on, I think, is it going to start? It's locked the clothes in permanently, and I've spent hours trying to get it to unlock, like daughter's school uniforms in there. I'm like, come on. Things like that. I did spend some of this on treat bits, as you'll see in previous videos. I got my lovely Safino Filofax wallet. You'll see this pop up a few times because I really love it. And savings challenges to focus on saving and establishing my sinking funds to work towards my goals for this year. So yeah, and just treats. Like, we all need a treat sometimes, and I'm not gonna blow all of this on treats, but I am gonna spend some of it. So what I would like to do is, my plan is to pay off the 2 phones. I can't see that. I want to pay off the 2 phones. The tablet I'm going to leave for now. It's new. It's one that I want to work towards. £11 I can do. I would quite like to clear this off. Pay it in full. Save me £35 a month. So I'm already looking at saving £41, £51, £54 a month just by clearing those 3 in full, because they can only be paid in full. I would like to put some money towards this. You know, this will be cleared within a couple of months, but obviously with the price hikes in the UK, to fuel, you know, my gas is doubling, monthly payments, it looks like, from what they've said. They haven't actually said to me, oh, we want to put your direct debit up. They've given me a predicted forecast. So I'd like to make a token payment to this, even if it's just 50 quid, because every little will help. And then rent arrears. I did have a conversation with her about, I haven't told her how much I got yet, but I did have a conversation saying that this money is going to come in and I'd like to pay some of this off. And she said, you don't have to pay all of it, because you're going to be working towards this, and especially if I need to get 1 month ahead, I'll still be paying this. So I'm going to clear a portion of it, you know. Currently thinking about £500. So I will bring my debt down quite a bit, or that is the aim, to knock off. Trying to do maths in my head and I can't. 500, 600, 800, another, oh, let's make it £1,000. Like 1,350. So then I'd be left with about £1,000 outstanding, which is a lot lower than what I'm currently doing. I know I could spend it all, but like I said, life and goals and priorities. I'm not saying that this amount of debt would, some people it's terrifying. It was terrifying me when I didn't think I had the money coming in. Now that the money's sort of stabilizing, I'm at a comfortable place with paying it. And so, yeah, I'm just being sensible and I'm trying to clear some of it. So, if you want a debt update, because I plan to do this in the next few weeks, then let me know. See if I stuck to my word. This channel is to hold me accountable. So let's see if I do what I've just said. Let me know if you'd like a debt update. I can do one. It might end up being that I roll it into my monthly budget, that I've got this amount come in, and I've paid it out. If you would like an update on my spending as well, and what I've bought, I think I did that in one of my videos that's gone up in the last couple of days. If you would like an update on this as well, then please let me know. See how much I have coloured in. But yeah, that's everything really. Thank you for watching. I really hope I haven't offended anyone. Like I said, I filmed this video previously and got really anxious about it and worrying that I would upset people. So I really hope I haven't. This is said with the best of intentions. It's about my journey with debt, and the position I'm in right now. It's my views of my debt, not my views of anyone else's debt. You know, we all do things differently. We are all in different situations. We all have different amounts of debt. We all have different incomes, and we all feel certain ways about debt. And for some people, debt payoff is the priority. But like I said, for me, it's to stay within budget and to establish sinking funds, which essentially is savings. and also to build an emergency fund, because if this year has taught me anything, it is how important an emergency fund is. If you liked this video or any of my other videos on my channel, please subscribe, give me a like or a thumbs up. It's really appreciated. Give me a comment. If I don't see it straight away, I will get back to you. You can also contact me via Instagram if you have any questions that you don't want to post on the comment section of the YouTube channel. If you would like to see more videos from me, then obviously subscribe. I've just said that. Coming up, I'm going to do my 2-week March budget. If you've watched my budget changes video, which came out this morning, I'm hoping to upload this tonight. Then I will be doing a 2-week March budget video because I'm changing the way my budget is laid out. So I'm just going to finish off this month. And that will be done either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how I feel. I also will have a cash stuffing when I get paid on Friday, and it will be filmed Friday because I cannot leave the money in my account or not in envelopes because I will spend it. So that will be posted either Friday or over the weekend. And I also am going to try and do a meal plan video. Not the most interesting thing because there won't be a shopping haul with it, but I will go through what I've got in the cupboards, and I think I might do a 2-week meal plan, just because when I go and get cash out, I'm really anxious about going out lately, and yeah, I'll probably nip into the local shop and pick up the few bits that we need. Like I said previously, I have a lot of food in. So it'll be kind of a pantry challenge, I guess. And I might also run through how much things kind of cost for me to buy. And I might try and work out how much the meals would cost that I'm going to cook. Because even before I started this channel, I meal planned and was kind of savvy. Like, you could probably say to me, oh, how much does mince cost in Aldi? And I'll be like, oh, it's this much. And, you know, the lettuce is 43p and I won't pay over 50p for a head of broccoli. Things like that. So I was going to do like a basic meal plan. I wish I could edit videos because then I could actually show you the inside of my freezers, cupboard and pantry. And then you could see it's like having a little shop. Come shop with me in my own home. Anyway, so yeah, they're the videos that are coming up. I really hope that my debt confession was okay. If you're struggling with your mental health at the moment, I've seen a lot of people say they're feeling fed up, low, down, overwhelmed, all these things. I just want to send my love out to you because it's not a nice place to be in, whether it's caused by debt or anything else. So that's all for now, folks. I hope you're having a good day. Take care and stay safe, and thank you for watching. Bye.